Hello and welcome to ABiQ's The Week That Was, September 18th, 2020. My name's Emil Rademeyer and I'll be your host for this episode. Central Africa. During a joint meeting between the Angolan government and the European Union, and the latter announced as an act of solidarity it will increase their COVID-19 response by €20 million in support of economic restructuring. On September 16th, the IMF approved $1 billion as an immediate disbursement to Angola and also increased the overall access to funds by an additional $765 million. The Cameroon government, in a joint venture with the US's Hydromine, aims to build a hydroelectric dam in the Sanaga River. The project is called the Grand Iweng and will cost an estimated $3 billion. The power plant will initially produce 810 megawatts and will be increased at the later stage to over 1,000 megawatts. Eastern Africa. Tanzania, Rwanda and Uganda have agreed to implement a World Bank-funded financial project which allows the stock markets in these countries to be integrated before the end of 2020. This will allow them to operate as a single market. PGI Health Ethiopia, a joint venture company with China, has opened a facility that produces COVID-19 test kits. It also stated that its researchers are working on a vaccine. The World Bank has approved an $80 million grant from the International Development Association to improve market access for smallholder farmers in Ethiopia. A $58 million road upgrade project in Nairobi's low-income neighborhoods will kick off this week. The project will be managed by the Kenyan Road Authority. The project will improve road surfaces stretching more than 400 kilometers. Huawei has signed a partnership agreement with the Kenyan Bankers Association to deploy Huawei's technology to further improve financial and banking infrastructure. Rwanda's Bank of Kigali and I&M Bank will disperse $6 million and $12 million respectively to more than 600 small and medium enterprises affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. After Uganda's approval last week of the host government agreement for Total's East Africa crude oil export pipeline, Tanzanian authorities now have a month to finalize and sign their respective host government agreement. Kenyan airlines are now able to resume flights to Tanzania after a ban was lifted. Uganda received a grant of $60 million and a credit of $240 million from the World Bank to boost the delivery of social infrastructure such as education, health, water and environmental services in high-density population areas. The World Bank has also approved $130 million to improve road infrastructure in Uganda's West Nile region through finance from the International Development Association. Canada's First Quantum Minerals is evaluating options to almost double capacity at Zambia's Kansanshi mine by adding 25 million tonnes per annum to the existing capacity of 27 million tonnes per annum. The company will invest $650 million in the expansion project starting in 2023 and it will take 2 years to complete. Air Zimbabwe has announced that it has resumed domestic flights on the 23rd of September and will resume international flights on the 3rd of October. Northern Africa. Eastern Libya will start to export oil from the country's ports after an 8-month blockade was lifted. Algeria announced plans to export $5 billion of locally produced drugs by 2025. Egypt has announced that it will build 2 highways across the Pyramids Plateau outside Cairo. Southern Africa. In order to fund its budget deficit and economic stimulus program, Botswana's parliament has approved a request to double its domestic borrowing program to $2.6 billion. South Africa's Ministry of Finance stated that it expects the country's economy to contract by more than 7% during the 2020 fiscal year. South Africa hopes rising metal commodity prices will bring much needed activity to the declining mining industry and help counter the economic crisis brought on by the COVID-19 lockdown. South Africa's President Ramaphosa announced that international travel will resume on the 1st of October to selected countries. South Africa's Reserve Bank has decided to keep the interest rate unchanged. Western Africa. President Barrow of the Gambia announced plans to build 8 new treatment centers and refurbish existing isolation centers across the country. Ghana's Statistics Office announced that the country's economy is set to contract 3.2% for the first time in almost 40 years as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Nigeria will need to invest $4 billion over the next 5 years to implement broadband access across the country. The Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy stated that they plan to provide 4G access to 90% of the population by 2025. Chevron Nigeria said it invested $1.45 billion in sourcing materials and resources from local Nigerian suppliers during 2019. Thank you for watching ABiQ's The Week That Was. I hope to see you back next week. Goodbye.